Good evening, class. I'm going to share with you the folder that I created to reflect my ideal classroom. I'm Mrs. Costa, and I plan to teach science, so this is called Mrs. Costa's Science Class. What I did was go online and look at clips and found some illustrations that I enjoyed about teaching. And I also made a list that's sort of a progressive list of how I want my class to be. After my first semester here at SNC, I learned a lot of things about being a teacher, and that there's a lot for me to learn about being a teacher besides knowing about science. So one of the things that I'd really like to do is to create an atmosphere of respect in my classroom. I think that's really important, so the students look at you with respect and that you treat them with respect. And I think that way we will get better cooperation from them. And that's my next thing that I'd like to have in my class is cooperation, a real sense of working together, working with the students, that you're all kind of going towards the same goal. It's important, I've learned, to create a safe environment where students are comfortable sharing their ideas, asking questions without feeling uncomfortable or intimidated. And when you do those things, you can create a classroom community and where the ideas and the cooperation happen in a productive way. Of course, the goal of an effective teacher is to have student engagement. I want the students to be interested and enjoy their lessons. And hopefully that will lead to academic achievement on the point of the students. That's the whole goal of education, is so that they will learn. And to foster a love of learning, because science really is a love of learning, just asking questions about the world around you and fostering that natural creativity that children have, and that it would really be wonderful if all adults had as well. So those are the things I'd like to have. So I found some illustrations that reflect that a little bit. This teacher looks pretty knowledgeable, right? She's got glasses and a suit, so hopefully she's respectable and knowledgeable. She's teaching, lecturing, which is an important part of getting your information to your students. They need that background. And then they can take that information that you give them and hopefully work together to really solidify that new knowledge. So some of these other illustrations are student labs. My favorite subject has always been science, because you get to get up, move around, and really do the things you learn about. That's why science is fun for me, and I hope that that's why science will be fun for my students. So the practical aspects of we're learning things that affect us every day and that we can practice. And then I liked this illustration because I want my students to really have a love. I have a love of the outdoors, and science can teach you about the outdoors, and the outdoors can teach you about science and life in general. So I hope I get to take my students outside and do some things outdoors and foster a good cooperative and love for the outdoors, cooperative effort and love for the outdoors. So that's ideally how I'd like my class to operate. And when I went to look for a quote, I really actually enjoyed reading all the quotes. There's so many quotes on education and life in general. I found a good one that went with my educational philosophy. When you know better, you do better. This is a quote by Maya Angelou, who is a renowned poet, author, and wise woman. And it's just a real simple quote, and it says, when you know better, you do better. I think if we all have knowledge, then we're going to make better decisions. And our students, even if they don't go on to be scientists, at least they'll know more about the world and hopefully make good decisions for themselves. So that's my goal.